all my life, Jimmy has been my big brother and my hero, an idol. You know, I always have looked up to him and always wanted to be like him and do things he did.
Jimmy and I met in 1952. I was 13 and he was in the Navy. When he got out of the Navy, I was a junior in high school, and we started dating in November of 1956, and we were married in September of 1957.
My daughter came in from a date, okay, and she went back and decided, evidently, to meet this guy again, because I heard a car come down the street, and it went down one street and come back, and it stopped. And I waited, and when my daughter came down, I said, "You stay in the house. I will need to go talk to that guy."
Jimmy is a great father, and having two beautiful girls, he was very protective.
And I walked up and I said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Are you waiting for my daughter to come back?" He said, "Yes, but we were just going to go get something to drink." I said, "You've been already, and I want to know what's going to happen." I said, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 10, and I want to see you gone." And he said, "I didn't do anything. I just pulled my gun up and shot straight up. Pow!" I started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and away he went.
And one of the girls and their boyfriend had gone to see the Chainsaw Massacre, the movie, and he thought how funny it would be for him to hide in the bushes, and when they came home for him to jump out with a chainsaw going. So he did that, so they'll never forget that date.
I didn't get that. Hey, so
crazy.
tell how did the game go? I mean, what do y'all think? Was it neat to play together or what?
Yeah, Roger did all the work.
We've played together, I think twice.
He can
all the times that you pick partners. So yeah, it was fun.
Other way, we won't get to do this, but once every 3 years.
But it's a lot of fun.
But thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
In 1986, Jimmy had his first heart procedure. It was a triple bypass. And in 6 weeks, he was recovered enough to go out and play softball. He was pitching, he was on the mound, and one of my friends said to me, "Aren't you worried about Jimmy playing ball this soon?" And I said, "Well, better on the mound than under the ground." And that's been my motto ever since.
We love our kids so much, it's unreal. And even though that there's sometimes trouble, but 99% is good. The best thing that I've ever had in my world, and still there, okay? September the 13th, 1957. And it's still going on, okay? She's so good. I love her. The best thing that ever happened to me is when we were married in her parents' home, okay? We only had like 6 people, 7 people. And then we had a whole bunch of cars come in and so forth, and we thought we could go around Houston and lose them and so forth. But then when we got to our little apartment, boom, there they all were. And they stayed till 2 o'clock. And then the other good thing, let's see, I had to borrow money from her daddy just to get the groceries in at that point in time too. So anyway, and I still owe her $8, I guess.
When I was a little kid, our two families were on a trip together. I believe it was Great Falls, Montana, or Wyoming, or something like that. But I was just such a
Well, I can remember a little kid falling into a ditch, a deep ditch. You remember that?
Sure.
I mean, we like to never got you out of that.
You laid down your tummy and leaned down there and pulled me up.
I know, but it was still pretty good size. It was probably 10 foot, I would guess, somewhere in there like that.
And I was out with Mr. Jimmy. He took me somewhere, and my dad wasn't there at the moment, and my brother and some of the girls were there, and we went somewhere, and we were coming back to the hotel, and there was a ditch that they say was about 10 feet deep, and a piece of plywood that went over it. And Mr. Jimmy said, "Now, Bryce, don't go over that." But you know what? I did, and it broke, and I went down in it, and as I remember, it might be kind of foggy, but I remember rats and snakes in the hole. I think that's just something over time, it's changed a little bit. But I'm in the bottom of this deep hole, and Mr. Jimmy leaned down, laid down on his tummy, put his arm down into the hole and saved me from the miry muck and saved my life. I probably would have died, but he did save me, so he is my hero.
I would hope that I don't have to have any time just drop dead, regardless of where it's at on the field, where it's in the bed, where it doesn't make any difference. I don't want to have any other problem with other people. I just want it to be me, unless Jesus comes. Then I want to go with all of us.